Low-key, sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel this, sometimes you give so much to a relationship that's like you're trying to keep it alive. You're kind of taking accountability over its life when low-key the proportion of give and take and how much you're just giving in general is not healthy for you. But you feel an obligation to this relationship. I think this is really big in family. There's a bigger capacity to tolerate things maybe you wouldn't tolerate with other people, but also to a point there's this question of, is this bad for me? And I think if it ever gets to the point where you're thinking about whether your relationship with a parent or something or anyone in your life, if you're like really thinking about whether it's bad for you or not, you cannot ignore that. You have to talk about that. Sometimes when our brains start to doubt relationships, some of us will try to keep it alive. Even imagining life without them seems so big, but like you owe yourself at least thinking about it for real, and not in the BS kind of way where you overvalue things. Oh, they make me feel bad about them myself, but they gave me financial support when I needed it. If anything is making you feel worse about yourself and lowering your self-worth, that's taking away so much of your autonomy. That's the ultimate price. People are okay with being degraded sometimes and like being treated like garbage because they really believe that what they're getting from the other person is a lot, that it's okay, like how they feel is okay, but how you feel is not okay. Because if you don't feel top and peak and tapped into yourself, how are you really going to make choices that are best for you? How are you going to know what you even want? How are you going to shoot for the stars even if you're worried about XYZ? And I'm going to tell you, like, nobody makes you. Yes, they can help you out in life and get you far in life, but you take yourself places. And if you're like, I can only get myself to this place by doing this thing, that is a choice. Like, that's literally limiting yourself and your possibilities. That's such BS. Like, you know how many possibilities are out there? How many things all lead to one common thing? Like, and there's always exceptions. Like, people will be like, I really can't get to this thing. Like, it's so impossible. Why sell yourself short? Please take opportunities as they come. Take rest periods as they come too. But live your life like it's yours. That's it. And if you feel like it's worth it to feel like garbage every day, that's what you're choosing to do with your life. That's what I think about, and that's why I'm so big about what parts of my life can I tweak to make me happier. How can I make my life more satisfying and more honest to who I am? Random car pulling in my driveway. There's some interesting things out here. Anyway, sorry. I don't know what this video is gonna be, whatever it is, because I'm really just going off the dome right now. I dropped my phone on the floor and I just never picked it up. It says let it happen on there. Shout out to Pinterest for this. I did not make that. It's so pretty. Those are my thoughts. I love y'all. Hello guys, I'm sitting in my room and I'm editing, and I thought about something that I really want to share with you guys because I'm taking a day off of work and I'm not tied to this job emotionally. But it was funny because I felt a bit of guilt in taking a day off of work. I was like, okay, is it worth it? You know, considering that I'm taking off a day of getting paid, I'm taking off a day of
being there for my coworkers, and then I realized that I'm so attached to a version of myself that is working, that I've forgotten that it's okay to be, pay attention to the version of myself that isn't working, that's just existing. And as I was editing my video, I was thinking about what I want my channel to portray, and really what I've been discovering through each video that I make, because obviously I didn't really know what this was gonna look like when I started out. Like, when I first started posting videos, I had one idea of what it was gonna be, and it was just gonna be me sitting and talking, and that's it. And then as I started to allow myself to be more creative, I noticed, okay, how do I want this to work? How can I resonate with my work? Because at a certain point, when you're doing the same thing and the same strategy, as you're growing and changing, that's not going to resonate. So allowing yourself to follow that change and to be brave enough to explore that change, and that can look like anything. Like, it doesn't have to be putting yourself out there for people to see. It could just be putting yourself out there for only you to see, aka accepting yourself and being okay with whatever version of you exists in the moment. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, I really like the idea of my space being somewhere that people can disassociate a little bit while still connecting with themselves. And I was like, Yusra, what does that really mean? How can you disassociate and also be there with you? When I say disassociate, I mean to take people out of their current reality. Wherever our brains are, that's our reality, right? So it could be that you're so used to being in your work life, in your reality of work, or so used to being the version of you that exists in your home life, and I think what version you're living based on your thoughts and what you're focused on. And so people who tend to think about work all the time, that's the reality that they're most consistently existing in. But there are different realities we all exist in. There are different ways of life, right? So there's just existing and being and resting. There's, creating and putting stuff out there. And then there's, working, and that can be labor that you just don't really resonate with, but you do it because there's a goal behind it. And I think a lot of people find themselves in that world where I have to go and do, and there's not necessarily a passion behind it, because if there was a passion, it probably wouldn't feel as tiring. It would feel like more energizing, because that's where your heart is. I think it's crazy that a lot of us are so sucked into our lives that we forget that we can exist as different versions of ourselves. There is a version of yourself that is resting, and that should be resting, and that enjoys it, and that gain something from it, and create things from it, and can be inspired from it. And if we're not giving energy to these different points of our lives, then we cannot exist wholly. We cannot exist as our complete selves. We're only a dimension of us. And so what does that do? That makes you more narrow-minded. It points you in one direction as opposed to opening your mind up to all the other directions in your life. And I think if I didn't take this day off of work, I wouldn't be realizing this. I wouldn't be creating this video, and I wouldn't be enjoying it, because if I come back after work and I'm working on this video, I'm gonna be tired. And I owe myself that. I think about this all the time, especially when it comes to work. Someone actually told me this, like, literally, if you were to be fired, they wouldn't give you a heads up, you would just be fired, and then what? At least in America, I don't really know how it works in other countries, but some of us feel guilty for even taking a day off. And if you really feel that dread within yourselves, and you still choose to make a choice that doesn't honor the rest that you're seeking, or the creative outlet that you're seeking, or the love that you're seeking, whatever, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're choosing something else before you. Now, if you're going into work, maybe being tired, but you still feel connected to it, okay, wait, I have a goal, and I feel I actually can change my mindset on how I feel about this, then fine, do your thing, right? But if you don't, you literally are like, bro, I can't even imagine a good day from this. Like, you have to actually sit there and do mental work on how this day is going to be good. You're lying to yourself. So I just think that's really the main thing I wanted to talk about, was that it's okay to rest. It's okay to explore different parts of you. It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to not feel like you like something, and to not want to do it, and to say, hey, this is my life and this is my time, and you know what? Maybe this amount of money is just not worth it. This job is just not worth it. Like, I literally am not enjoying it. So what's the point? Our existence on this earth is a blip of time compared to everything else. Like, the way that we have literally barely any time on this earth compared to how long the universe has existed. Like, just remember that. So have fun with your life, do your thing, put yourself out there. Don't be so stubborn and hard-headed about how things have to look. They don't have to look any kind of way. You just have to have fun doing it, and you have to actually want to do what you're doing, or else what's the point? If you have no motivation, no reasoning, no heartfelt connection to what you're doing, are you even you? It might not feel good at first to listen to yourself or to take rest, but I'm telling you, once you start seeing the actual gain from them, it's a different reality for you. So just remember, you are entitled to your time, to your life. No one else is. Nobody else is. Anyway, take the day off. I love y'all.